My name is Simi, and the day my life split into before and after started with a single notification. I was lying on my bed, face down, scrolling through my phone the way every tired 20-year-old does after a long day at school. I wasn't expecting drama. I wasn't expecting tears. I definitely wasn't expecting to see my own body staring back at me from someone else's phone screen. But that was exactly what happened. A message popped up from an unknown number on WhatsApp. You're brave. Oh, didn't know you were this wild. Fire. I frowned. Who is this? Before I could even reply, another message dropped. A screenshot of a group chat. My name. My boyfriend's name. And there, right under his message, a photo of me. My heart stopped. It was one of the private pictures I had sent to him weeks ago. My face was half visible, the soft light in my room, my bare shoulders, my brown skin, the curve of my body that only he was supposed to see, and above it, his message in the group chat. See, when my babes send me, guys. No talk 'em outside here. Oh. The world went blurry. My ears rang. My fingers went cold. My chest tightened like someone had wrapped a rope around it and pulled. I scrolled up, hands shaking. They had been talking about me, laughing, commenting, rating my body like I was not a human being, just a picture to joke about. My boyfriend, Daniel, had shared my nudes with his friends. Not by mistake. Not once. Several times. Different pictures. Different angles. Different laughs. The unknown number texted again. I thought you should know. Your guy days show you to all of us. You no deserve that. I stared at the screen, my breathing shallow. Inside that moment, I had two choices. Pretend I didn't see it and quietly die inside, or confront the boy I trusted more than anyone in the world. My thumb hovered over his name. Daniel Redhart. I tapped call. It rang once, twice, 3 times. He picked. Baby, he said, laughing lightly, his voice loud like he was with people. Give me 2 minutes. I'm with the guys. I swallowed, my voice shaking. Daniel. I saw the group chat. Silence. The kind of silence that makes your stomach drop. I could hear faint male voices in the background. A door closing. Footsteps. What group chat? He said, but his voice didn't sound confident anymore. The one where you shared my pictures. I whispered. The pictures I sent only to you. He didn't answer. Daniel, I said, my voice breaking. Tell me the truth. Did you send my naked pictures to your friends? On the other end of the call, I heard him exhale sharply. Then, very quietly, he said something I was never prepared to hear. Simi, it's not what you think. And before I could ask what is it then, the call cut off. My phone screen went black. My heart dropped into a dark, empty space. I stared at my reflection in the screen, my wide eyes, my trembling lips, my whole body beginning to shake, realizing that the boy who said he loved me might have turned my trust into entertainment. But here's the thing. That day, when my world shattered, when shame tried to swallow me whole, something else was born inside me. A fire. I didn't know it yet. All I knew in that exact moment was that everything was about to change. Hi, my name is Simi. I'm 20 years old, a second-year student studying mass communication at a state university in Nigeria. I come from a small, noisy house where the generator is somehow always on, and my mother talks to the television like it can hear her. Before all this, I was the kind of girl people called good girl. I wore simple clothes. I minded my business. I went to church, went to school, came home. Nothing about me screamed drama. I grew up with my mother, Mama Joy, who sells provisions at a kiosk near our street, and my younger brother, Mola, who thinks he's funnier than he actually is. My father left when I was 9, and we never saw him again. We learned early that some people promise forever and then disappear like they never existed. Maybe that's why, when someone finally told me I was beautiful and meant it, I believed him too easily. That someone was Daniel. It was a hot afternoon on campus, the kind of heat that turns your brain to soft plantain. I was in the crowded cafeteria, balancing a tray of rice and stew, looking for where to sit when someone bumped into me. My tray tilted. The stew flew like it wanted to see the world. "Ah, I'm so sorry," a voice shouted. A hand shot out and caught the tray before it dropped. Rice scattered, but somehow most of it stayed. I looked up, ready to snap, but the words dissolved in my mouth. He was tall, with warm brown skin, soft eyes, and a smile that could make you forget your own name. He wore a simple black t-shirt and jeans, but he carried himself with this quiet confidence, like the world was a song he already knew the lyrics to. "That was my bad," he said. "Let me buy you another plate." "It's okay," I mumbled, even though my heart was still racing. "I'm fine." He chuckled. "You're not fine. Your stew is on the floor. Please, let me replace it. If not, my conscience will chase me all semester." I tried not to smile, but I failed. That's how it started. He bought me another plate, sat with me, asked my name, told me his. We talked about lecturers, about the terrible campus Wi-Fi, about how both of us didn't really like going to parties. Before I knew it, we were walking to class together, then reading together in the library, then staying up late chatting on WhatsApp about life, fear, dreams, and things we never said out loud. He called me Sunshine because he said my smile made stressful days feel lighter. I called him Professor because he always acted like he knew everything. He wasn't perfect, but he was kind. At least that's what I believed. When my mother fell sick and I couldn't pay for her drugs one week, he sent me some money without me even asking, saying, "You don't need to carry everything alone." In a world where I was used to being the strong one, that kindness felt like rain in dry season. And kindness can be dangerous when you are starving for it. It didn't happen in one day. He didn't say, "Send me your nudes," and I just obeyed. It was a slow climb. "You're beautiful here. I wish I could see you right now, there. I miss your face," in the middle of the night. We started with selfies, me smiling with my bonnet on, him making silly faces in his hostel. Then came pictures of my outfits before lectures, then voice notes, then late night calls. I felt safe with him. He never shouted at me, never insulted me, always asked about my day. When the world felt loud and stressful, his voice was my quiet place. So one night when he said, "I wish I could see all of you, not just your face," I didn't hear danger. I heard longing. "Daniel," I whispered, staring at my reflection in the mirror. I know," he said quickly. "I'm not forcing you. I would never force you. I want to feel close to you, but only if you trust me. If you don't, it's fine. I'll still love you." That last sentence hooked me. "I'll still love you." It made it sound like I was the one holding something back, like I was the one not loving enough. We talked about it for days. I told him I was scared. He promised he would never share anything. He said, "I'll delete them if they make you uncomfortable. I just want to admire you when we're apart." Trust is a soft thing. It doesn't break with noise. It breaks quietly. One night, after a long day of classes, when my room was dark and the only light was from my phone screen, I stood in front of my mirror with my heart pounding. I took a deep breath, took the picture, sent it, then another, and another. My hands were shaking, but his reaction made me feel seen. "Wow," he texted, "your art. I swear." I blushed even though no one could see me. "Don't show anyone." I typed, "Never." He replied with a red heart. If only words could be contracts. Things didn't change immediately. For weeks, we were fine. Better than fine, even. He called me more. Randomly showed up with snacks. Walked me to my faculty. Told his friends I was his future wife. Sometimes I'd catch people looking at me on campus, and I'd smile, thinking, wow, maybe I really am beautiful. I didn't know some of those looks were coming from his friends who had seen what was never meant for their eyes. But there were small signs. A joke that felt too sharp. A friend's comment that felt too personal. A laugh that lasted too long after I passed by. Once his roommate, Sei, winked at me and said, "Our wife you day hido. You know day post for IG. Nah, only Daniel Day enjoy the full picture." I froze. "What do you mean?" I asked, forcing a laugh. "Nothing," he said quickly. "I just mean you're fine. That's all." Daniel dragged him away, frowning. Later that night, he told me, "Ignore Sei. His mouth is faster than his brain." Faster at saying what? I asked. He kissed my forehead and said, "Nothing, sunshine. Just trust me." So I did, because that's what love is supposed to look like, right? Trust, surrender, believing the best. The day I received that WhatsApp message, I had just come back from writing a test. My head hurt. The sun felt like it was sitting directly on my scalp. All I wanted was a cold bath and some sleep. Instead, I got the kind of pain that no painkiller can touch. You already know what I saw. You already know how my hands trembled. But what you don't know is this. The number that sent me the screenshot was not his friend. It was a girl. After the call with Daniel cut off, my chest tight with fear and anger, I texted the unknown number. "Who are you?" A moment passed. "My name is Tola. I'm in his group chat. I used to like him, until I saw how he treats you." I swallowed hard. "How does he treat me?" I typed, even though I was afraid to see the answer. "Like you're not a person. Like you're proof. Like a trophy to show off. They've been sharing your pictures for weeks." My vision blurred with tears. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. Her reply came slowly, like she was thinking carefully. "Because I know what it feels like. A guy did the same to me once. Nobody warned me. I wish someone had. I didn't want to watch it happen to another girl and keep quiet." In the middle of my humiliation, a stranger chose kindness. That kindness became the first small light in a dark tunnel. That I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the edge of my bed, shaking, the phone screen glowing in my hand. My roommates had gone quiet, pretending not to notice my red eyes, giving me space. In the morning, I took my phone, my anger, and my broken heart, and went to Daniel's hostel. The sun was bright. People were laughing. The world was moving like nothing had happened. But inside me, everything had shifted. As I approached his hostel, I saw Sei and two other guys sitting outside, laughing over something on a phone. When they saw me, their laughter died. One of them muttered, "Omo." Sei stood up, clearing his throat. "Simi, you're here." "Yes," I said, my voice surprising me with how steady it sounded. "Where is Daniel?" "He's inside," Sei said. "He wouldn't meet my eyes." "Call him," I said. He hesitated, then slowly turned towards the room. Moments later, Daniel appeared at the doorway, wearing a t-shirt and shorts, his hair rough like he had just woken up. Normally, seeing him would make my heart flutter. Today, it just made my stomach twist. "Hey, sunshine," he said gently, forcing a smile. "You didn't tell me you were coming." I stared at him. I saw the group chat. I said quietly. His smile faded. The boys around us shifted uncomfortably. One of them tried to slip away, but I turned to them. "No, all of you should stay," I said. "Since all of you have seen what should have been private, you can stay and hear this too." Daniel swallowed, his jaw tightening. "Simi, let's go inside and talk," he said. "No," I replied. "We'll talk here." My heart was pounding so loud, I could hear it in my ears. But somewhere beneath the fear, there was something new. Strength. Did you share my pictures? I asked, my voice shaking but loud enough for everyone to hear. The ones I trusted you with. Did you send them to your friends? His friends stared at him, then at me. Nobody spoke. For a long moment, Daniel said nothing. Then he opened his mouth. Simi, please let me explain, he began. And just as he took a step towards me, another voice cut in from behind. A female voice. Don't let him twist it, she said firmly. He's lying. We all turned. Standing a few feet away was a slim girl in a faded blue top jeans and sandals, holding her phone in her hand. Tola, the girl from WhatsApp. She walked up slowly, her eyes burning, her jaw clenched. I have everything, she said, raising her phone. Every screenshot, every voice note, every joke they made about you. Daniel's face went pale. Simi, she said softly, turning to me, you deserve to hear the truth. And right there, in front of his friends, in front of his hostel, in the bright morning sun, my entire life was about to change. Again, the courtyard went silent. Even the boys who had been scrolling on their phones suddenly became very interested in the ground. Daniel stepped forward. Tola, what are you doing? What you should have done, she replied. Telling the truth. My throat felt tight. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. But instead, I stood still and said, show me. Tola unlocked her phone and handed it to me. There it was. The group name, Boys Locker Room. The members, 8 of them. Daniel, Sei, others I didn't really know. Messages, memes, random conversations. And scattered in between me, pictures of me, comments, laughing emojis. See, is my babe fresh? If Nami get this kind babe, I no go ever cheat. Guy you sure say na, only you day chop. A beg drop another one, Jer. I scrolled, my hands shaking. Not just one picture. Several. Some where my face was clearly visible. Some where I had trusted the camera more than I trusted myself. At one point, one of the guys dropped this message. Omo, now you guys be problem. If she find out, you are finished. Daniel replied with, she no go no. She trusts me die. The words cut deeper than a knife. She trusts me die. In that moment, all the air left my lungs. I handed the phone back to Tola and looked at him. Is this funny to you? I asked, my voice low. No, he said quickly. Simi, I swear. Did you laugh? I asked again. He hesitated. It was just guy talk. You know how boys are. Guy talk. I repeated, my eyes burning. You use my body for guy talk? He ran a hand through his hair. It's not like that. I was proud of you. Proud to have someone like you. They were always bragging about their girls. I didn't want to look like. Like what? I asked. Like you actually respected me? His jaw tightened. You're overreacting. They're my guys. I told them not to send it out. That's not the point. I snapped, my voice rising. I didn't send those pictures to them. I sent them to you. The boys shifted, uncomfortable. Some stared at their feet. Others kept glancing between us, guilt written on their faces. See, Simi, Sei started. We didn't. I turned to him. Did anyone here tell him to stop? Did any of you say, bro, this is wrong? Or did you just sit down here and enjoy the show? He closed his mouth. Silence again. That was my answer. After a few more words, my throat closed. I felt like I would break into 1,000 pieces if I stayed there any longer. Without another word, I turned and walked away. Simi, please. Daniel called after me. Wait. I didn't stop. He tried to grab my arm, but Tola stepped in between us. Leave her, she said firmly. You've done enough. I walked until the hostel faded behind me, until the noise of their voices became just a memory in the air. And when I reached a quiet corner behind one of the lecture halls, I finally let the tears fall. Big, ugly sobs that shook my whole body. I cried for the trust one gave. I cried for the girl in those pictures who thought she was safe. I cried for the way my father left, the way my heart learned to cling too tightly to anyone who stayed. I cried until my chest hurt. When my tears finally slowed, my phone buzzed again. Dozens of messages. Daniel, Sei, unknown numbers. Some apologizing, some begging, some saying, "We no mean him like that." I blocked Daniel, but I couldn't block the fear in my head. What if they save the pictures? What if they share them later? What if everyone on campus has already seen me? Shame has a way of making you feel small, even when you did nothing wrong. While I was still sitting there, my phone buzzed with a new message. It was from Tola. "Can I see you? I'm close by." I wiped my face and typed, "Okay." A few minutes later, she walked around the corner. Up close, she looked tired, like she had seen more than someone our age should have. But her eyes were gentle. She sat beside me on the low concrete edge. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "For what?" I asked, my voice rough. "For not speaking up earlier," she replied. "I've been in that group chat for months. I saw what they were doing. I tried to leave, but they kept adding me back, calling me too serious. I should have warned you sooner." I shook my head. "You didn't owe me anything. You still helped me." She smiled sadly. "I know how it feels. When I was in SS2, a guy I liked convinced me to send him pictures. I was foolish. I trusted him. He sent them to his friends. Some of them even edited them. When my school found out, they didn't ask what he did. They called me names. They almost expelled me. My stomach twisted. I'm so sorry." She shrugged, but I saw the pain flash in her eyes. "That's why I sent you the screenshots. I couldn't watch another girl go through it without at least warning her." In that moment, I realized something important. Yes, there are people who use your trust against you. Yes, there are people who will laugh at your pain. But there are also people like Tola, strangers who choose courage over comfort, who show you kindness when you're at your lowest. I took a deep breath. "What do I do now?" I asked. "I feel dirty, like I did something terrible." She shook her head firmly. "You didn't do anything wrong. You sent private pictures in a relationship you trusted. That's not a crime. He broke the trust. It's on him, not you." Her words didn't fix everything, but they landed somewhere deep inside me, like seeds waiting to grow. Over the next few days, I made some decisions. I talked to my closest friend, Zainab, who hugged me and said, "You're not alone. We'll figure this out together." We discussed reporting it to the school. We talked to a female lecturer we trusted who listened without judgment and told us about a counselor on campus who handled cases like this. I was scared. Scared people would blame me. Scared they'd say, "Why did you send the pictures in the first place?" But then I asked myself a harder question. If I stay quiet, how many more girls will he do this to? Because boys like that don't stop on their own. So I did something that felt impossible. I walked into the counselor's office and told the truth. She was kind. She didn't flinch. She didn't blame me. She listened, took notes, and asked for the evidence. With Tola's help, we printed everything, screenshots of the chat, the pictures blacked out for privacy, the messages. We blurred my face where it was too clear. The counselor forwarded the case to the school's disciplinary committee. Some people might say, "It's just pictures, let it go." But abuse of trust is never just anything. Over the next weeks, the school investigated quietly. Did people gossip? Yes. Did I feel eyes on me sometimes? Yes. But I also began to notice something else. Other girls started coming to me privately. Simi, something like this happened to my cousin. Simi, there's this guy threatening to post my pictures if I don't send more. Simi, thank you for not keeping quiet. Pain turned into purpose. I wasn't just a victim anymore. I was a voice. Eventually, the school called us in for a hearing. Daniel sat across from me in the small office, his shoulders slumped, eyes red. For the first time, I saw fear in his face, not arrogance. He tried to talk to me before the meeting. Simi, please, he whispered. I'm begging you. Don't let them expel me. My parents will die. It was a mistake. I love you. I didn't mean any harm. I looked at him carefully. Did I still care about him? In a small, painful way, yes. You don't unlove someone overnight. But love without respect is just punishment. I believe you didn't think deeply. I said calmly, but you meant what you did. You pressed send. You laughed. You continued. That was not an accident. Tears gathered in his eyes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope you are, I replied. Not just because of the punishment, but because of the way you made me feel small. The school suspended him for a semester and gave official warnings to his friends. The group chat was reported. Some of them lost certain privileges on campus. They had to attend counseling sessions on consent and digital privacy. Was it enough? Maybe not. Was it something? Yes. Most importantly, something changed in me. I stopped seeing myself as the girl whose nudes were shared. I started seeing myself as the girl who refused to stay silent. Healing wasn't magic. I still had days when shame whispered in my ear. Days I looked in the mirror and remembered those screenshots. Days I felt anger boiling in my chest. But every time, I reminded myself, I am more than what someone did to me. I am more than a picture. I am more than a mistake made in trust. Mama Joy, when she found out, didn't shout the way I expected. She just hugged me tight and said, with tears in her eyes, men have been using women's bodies without respect for too long. I wish I taught you earlier that your worth is not in what any boy thinks. But I'm proud you stood up for yourself. Her words wrapped around my heart like a soft blanket. Zainab stayed close, cracking jokes, dragging me to class, refusing to let me hide. Tola became my friend. Sometimes we'd sit under a tree on campus and talk about life, dreams, and how we wanted a world where girls didn't have to live in fear of their own private moments. We made a small plan together. We started a weekly hangout in the female hostel called Safe Screens. It wasn't big, just a few girls at first, then more. We talked about digital safety, about consent, about setting boundaries. We didn't come with big speeches. We just shared stories. And slowly, something beautiful started to grow. Courage, honesty, empathy, not just for victims, but also for ourselves. That's my story. A story of betrayal, a story of pain, but also a story of courage, kindness, and healing. I'm still learning, still growing, still choosing not to let one boy's mistake define the rest of my life. And now I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from right now? Globe showing Europe, Africa. Drop your city or country in the comments. And if this story touched you, remember, be kind, be careful, be the person who speaks up, not the one who stays silent. Because sometimes the smallest act of empathy can save someone from drowning in shame. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is refuse to let your pain be the end of your story.